breaking down another dance practice today, and this time it's the Stray Kids Megaverse. This dance is pretty high energy, and they do take advantage of the amount of dancers they have on stage to give us these nice effects. Because the stage is pretty big, you would want to have really big effects when it comes to performing on a large stage. And then the transitioning between the members to sing their parts and or rap their parts is actually pretty straightforward. So let's go and break this one down. This is one of my favorite songs from the album, and I could not stop listening to it when they first released it. So let's go and roll it. If you guys haven't followed my Twitch, ladiesman5678, go ahead and follow it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go and roll it, baby. So this intro right here is going to be really straightforward to give us a combo. And it's going to follow with that ripple effect. And it's going to introduce us Felix with these basses that come in. With their shoulders that go down like that. So the reason why I want to go over this quick intro is that the song starts pretty abruptly. So what they're doing is to match the abruptness of the song, they're going to start with a combo right away with Hyunjin being center. And then they're going to go and follow with effects by using a bunch of their dancers already to pretty much draw us in. Because Stray Kids has to perform on a very, very big stage for this performance, they need those large effects to reel people in, especially if the stadium itself is massive. So you'll have like audiences from every angle, and you'd want to capture that, and which is why it's important to use all these dancers and to create a tone already right from the beginning. That was a cool transition, or like straightforward transition with Bang Chan. So with the dancers, the backup dancers specifically, they're actually going to be doing a lot of running in and running out to just transition in Stray Kids whenever they need to do their parts. This reveal right here, I really liked because I did not know he was even back there. That was so good. Alright, so before we get into the chorus, the reveal where they lift him up into the air was really clever. And here's the reason why I say that. When they reveal him, he's singing the high notes in the song. And what I assume that they wanted to go for was to match exactly what that means, right? Because he's singing the high notes, you want to kind of like lift him up to show him off in a way where like, yeah, he's singing the high notes. So we need to reveal him in a way where he is singing the high notes. So it created a nice effect for him to lift up and then eventually slowly going back down to the ground to go and reveal the next member and expand a little bit. And the way that they expand is to match the way that the song sounds. It goes na 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 na. Okay, I don't sing, all right, so that probably sounds really bad. But they do this expand to show more members later on. And then it gets to the chorus part. I'll just replay that section just so I can point out what I mean by him being lifted up and then the little expand as well. You see how it's on top? They're gonna go back down. Nice ripple effect there. And that's what I meant by spreading out. So right there, after the high notes, he's gonna go and reveal, the other member is gonna go and reveal himself to go and kind of attack the front of the stage. Not necessarily like upstage, but he's still gonna go and attack the stage to show us that like, oh, they're about to kill this chorus right now. And this is the part that I'm talking about. Good way to transition everybody to stage to do the chorus. The chorus itself is pretty straightforward. Everyone's gonna go ahead and do it exactly the same. And they're gonna go ahead and move members around once the chorus ends. And again, this is what I meant by once the chorus ends, they're gonna go have members walk off and or run off to go and reveal the next person either rapping their parts and or singing their parts. In this case, it would be Changbin. With the chorus itself too, the reason why I'm not really going over that too much is because the chorus itself, very straightforward, high energy. You just want to make sure that you're really displaying this energy for the audience to feel when it's that part. And the reason why they have everybody on stage for that is because it's the chorus. You want everyone to go crazy for the chorus. There are some nice effects that they do here for a Changbin here. So that whisper part, I think, was a super cool effect that they did. He essentially kind of controlled them at the very end before he threw to get off stage, right? So I'm just gonna replay it just so you guys can pick it up here. That part. So that part was, I think, was super cool. It kind of like matched the way that he was whispering into the verse, and then he did this like fist. And then he lifted up his fist to kind of essentially raise the backup dancers to go ahead and throw. And I think that was such a cool effect because at that point, there's not a lot of dancers on stage, right? It's just Changbin and the backup dancers. What kind of impression are they going to leave right before they leave stage? So I think that was such a cool impression to leave off of because, again, it was a nice small effect that can still keep your attention. And this part right here gives us a nice contrast from Changbin's part. Okay, so for that part right there where he's like slow, he's kind of softly singing in the song, right? Especially in his part. The way they match this is after Changbin's part is done, what they do to match that essentially is they're gonna create this like gliding effect. And I don't know if that's what they were going for. I don't know if that was the intention, but this is what I'm getting out of the actual dance. What's happening is that because he's singing in a more of a soft-spoken tone, they're matching it by doing this like gliding effect. Yeah, essentially this gliding effect, and then just overall, the moves aren't explosive. They're more on like the floaty side. So once I replay it, you guys will see what I mean, and it's to match the way that he's singing this part. Nice gliding effect with the reveal there. More gliding a little bit. So essentially that entire part was just like very floaty. I just want to say that's essentially like what I'm trying to go for is floaty. And again, this next part, we have all the dancers run in once again to create these columns. Nice effect there with Hyunjin. So before we even get into the second chorus, what's nice about the columns that they created earlier was, yes, they ran in pretty straightforward, right? But what they were doing is that they were doing footwork and essentially like a combo the entire time they were in the columns. And so what this effect actually creates is that it creates this like nice chaotic effect while he's rapping. Because if you think about it, they're matching the tempo of the way he raps without being distracting at all. It essentially kind of highlights him, not even kind of highlights him, it does highlight him in a sense. So they'll run in and then they'll have these 4 columns and they'll do footwork the entire time to go and match the tempo of the way that he raps. It's a good way to use your dancers without just having them sit there or doing a pose, right? That was super clean right there. They played around with levels here. Love that. So with his part again, right? Like when he's doing the high notes, again, the choreo is intended to go ahead and match the way that he's doing that. So instead of lifting him up this time, they play around with stuff that's up here. So they'll lift their arms up to go and show that these are high notes. So we're gonna have to do choreo that's up here. And then they play around with levels, which I do like. And I think this is one of the cleanest parts of the dance practice is essentially like this part right here. Nice split off there. And then right here, they play with levels to get, basically they get the front line to go ahead and have a level that's a little bit lower so you can see Stray Kids better. Love this circular formation. You can't really tell it's a circular formation, but it's definitely a circle formation from what I can see. Again, they'll have dancers run off again from earlier, and they'll do the chorus. And again, the chorus is really straightforward. Everyone just popping off in this case. Great effect right there. Another ripple effect. They split off once again. Okay, so with Felix's part right there, where they kind of punch out and they match this part of the instrumental of this song, which it was really clever because you have all these dancers, right? You have so many people on stage, and that was such a great way to utilize your dancers and also show the sound of your song by doing an effect like that. So, like that little punching effect that they did, where they were all facing a different direction, but they had these angles of punching to match that instrumental at Felix's part was super clever. Love that. And we're gonna get to Hyunjin's part. Love this part. Another great way of using effects by singling out center, which is Hyunjin. So before we do the kill off here with Bang Chan being center at the very beginning of this, it was a great way to essentially isolate Hyunjin doing the effects. He's doing the choreo while everybody is going to go and essentially highlight him by doing the effects that Hyunjin is going to do. So that's really nice effect there. And a lot of dance teams use that all the time, where they'll essentially isolate center to do the choreo while everyone else is doing the effect. And this last part is pretty straightforward. They're just going to kill it off. And just go super high energy here, and I love it. A lot of throwing, a lot of arms. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of arms that they're doing, like a lot of throwing. I think that was a great way to end it off by doing a ripple effect with the sound of the song right there. So I'm just gonna go back. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So it's right before when they get onto the floor. It's to match that weird computer sound, I want to say. That was sick. That was sick. Great way to end it. I personally really like this dance practice just because it was really straightforward. It was high energy. Let's utilize a lot of our dancers and create these effects, which I really like. And then the song is just so good that when I covered it, I just had fun learning it. This was one of my favorite dance practices from them. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. If you guys like Stray Kids, go ahead and subscribe. I'm gonna go and break down more dance practices from them. But other than that, I'm out. Peace.